Hey, hey! So we are doing an impromptu makeup demo for you guys today. Just gonna talk a little bit. Here's James! Gonna talk a little bit until we get some people to join in, and then we'll get started. So this is just gonna be light makeup. We're gonna do just a couple headshots today, so it's not gonna be glam like you see on the Boudoir. I just realized I can see in the mirror behind us. Yeah, dance, Jamie, dance. Okay, so Jamie, if you want to just kind of tell them a little bit about what you're planning to do.
Hi there. So let me just turn this for a second so you can see a little bit of me. No, this is fine. So what I want to do is I want to give her a soft look, a little bit of glam. I just want to accentuate her beauty, pop out her natural features, and I'm going to use an even palette, look like earth tones and stuff like that. So I hope you enjoy.
So she'll be kind of giving little tips as she goes. We are going to try our hardest to answer questions as we go, but the text come across the screen really small. So if we miss it, I will go back and review it after we're done, and we will comment if we're not able to get it while we're doing the actual video. So hang out, and we're gonna get started.
Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to match her skin. She's got a little bit of pink in there, and she's very fair, so I want to make sure that I give her a nice, good, natural match. I'm going to be using my favorite foundation. I've been using it for about a decade, actually, and that is RCMA. It's RCMA.
And it is a photo grade foundation, which is one of the reasons why having your makeup done for your boudoir shoot by a professional is so important, because using just the regular over-the-counter stuff or even some of the more expensive stuff, it's not a photo grade, which this is. So it makes editing a little bit easier.
That's right. They use it on the movie stars.
Yes, make me a movie star, girl.
She's a movie star. Okay, so first I'm going to try with the shade Olive 1, and I'm just going to match this to her forehead. I don't see it. You don't see it. That's a good match. Okay, so now that I have her shade, I'm going to start with her eyebrows. Her eyebrows already have a great base, so I just want to deepen them up just a tad.
And these eyebrows are, right now they've got nothing on them. These are courtesy of Megan at Brow Baby. I actually had them done on May 26th, and I go for my 6-week touch-up next week, I think. So they're pretty much done. They need just a little bit of love. After my touch-up that I have with her, I think it's gonna be fabulous. So we'll see what Jams does to them. Sanitize. Oh, you just splooged on me.
Sanitize.
Yes, nice and clean.
No disease. No disease.
No COVID here.
No, no, no.
And if you're wondering why I keep looking down, my dog is over here, so I'm not just randomly looking around. He has a cone on his head because he has a boo-boo. So, okay.
So first I'm gonna take a spoolie. It is brand new. I just took it out of the package just to be clean and sanitary. And I'm going to groom the shape of her brows. Just like so. And I'm going to be using a Volux Brow Liner by MAC in the shade Redhead. It's not brown because I don't want to deepen too much. I still want to keep it kind of natural. It's like I'm just hands.
You are hands.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rest my hand somewhere on her face so I have a little bit of base. So I'm just not floating in the air, and it's going to be more of a wrist action. And I'm going to go in the direction of the brows. And I'm just going to softly fill that in.
Can somebody that's listening tell us whether or not the quality is okay right now with sound? Sometimes my internet is a little bit of a beast, and I want to make sure you guys are actually able to see this and it's not like pixelated. Anybody? Somebody comment. Help a sister out.
And if I need to, depending on the person, I can pull up on the arch to stretch the skin a little, so the pencil will
Thanks, Wendy.
glide more smoothly.
Thanks, Amber.
And it's just one little swipe. I'm barely using any pressure to her skin. I don't want to dig it in there. I just want to lightly touch the skin, and fill it in for her. I'm gonna go a little bit out of the lines because I wanna show you how I clean it up and shape it. Turn your head towards me. I groom. And if you wanna think how to imagine it, it's like you're coloring. If your hand's down like this, you're writing or coloring, it's all wrist action. So you just turn it up and you draw. Always go the direction of the hair. And if you go out of the lines, don't worry because I'm going to show you how I fix that. Turn a little bit more. Nothing too crazy, I just want to keep it natural. If there's any pockets of skin, then I'll just go back on that spot and draw a little bit more. Voila.
Brows.
Now for this next step, you can use a wipey, or what I like to do is I like to take some lotion on a very firm brush, pack it in there, and going the shape of the brow, I'm going to swipe up and swipe down. Turn for me. I'm just going to do it in the opposite direction because I'm right-handed. But this is going to pick up anything that I want to remove. And I'll do the same thing for underneath. And I just follow the shape of the brow. This is going to give you a nice clean finish and prepare the brow, the upper brow for primer.
And you can see they're a little bit more shaped now, and the color's more bold. Again, they were ombre'd before, so it's not as drastic of a difference. That's one of my favorite things to see is when we have clients that come in that don't have natural brows and they're not used to seeing them, how big of a difference it makes. It totally brightens up your face. And at first it can be a little scary, but then after you see it with everything else, with all the makeup, it fits in and it kind of finishes it.
So now I just want to check the symmetry of the eyebrows. You want to take a pencil or a brush, use the bridge of the nose, and this is going to show you where the brow starts. If you want to know where the arch is supposed to stop, you go right down the middle of the pupil. That'll show you the top of the arch, and then you extend to show you where the brow is supposed to end. Easy trick. Okay, so now I'm going to prime her lid. I'm going to be using Pure Joy's base, and I'm not sure, this is a shade 2. This is an international product, but you can get this at Morphe. This is one of my favorite eye bases that I like using right now. It prepares the lid for shadow, and it's going to give the shadow a little bit of a pop in color, and it's going to dry up all the oils in the eye, so it'll give the look more longevity. Turn for me. So I'm just going to place a firm brush flat, and I'm going to pull it. And this is a good way to give your brows that freshly waxed look. And I'm just going to spread this all over. A little goes a long way. I'm going to let that sit while I do the other eye.
Excuse me.
I'm going to tilt her up a little bit. Pull the brow tight. And then I pull and I bring it down. I'm going to take a fluffy clean brush and I'm just going to pat this in and remove any excess product. If you use too much, it will crease. We don't want that. So I'm just pressing, 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 pulling off excess. I want to make sure I have it all the way down to the lash line. And as you can see already, she looks very clean. Her brows look
So clean.
so clean. And this is getting her prepared for the color. I like to do the eyes first, so if I have any fallout, which typically you do, I can, instead of wasting product and doing the foundation first, I do the eyes first, so then I can clean everything up from underneath, so you have a flawless application to your foundation. I'm going to be using the Transition palette. I just got it out of my BoxyCharm. It's Dominique Cosmetics. They're all matte, all transition, absolutely amazing. And I'm gonna be going in with the shade Toffee. I'm gonna tap it out. And then if you'll just look straight for me. If you look straight when you do your mascara, if you look straight for me, it's going to show you exactly where that crease is supposed to be. So then I know I don't go any higher and I want to work downwards. So I'm just going to do this on this side, just for a reference for you guys watching. And this is how I make a perfect crease every time.
Yeah.
Oh God, earthquake.
We kicked you.
And then look down for me. And now I'm just going to press it in on that outside corner.
And she's still using her fluffy brush.
Yes, the fluffy brush. I'm not doing anything now but just tapping that product in right there where I want it. One more time. And I'm going to go ahead and just do the other side for symmetry. As you see, looking down, her lid is exposed, and then there's the crease. If I push up in there, you can see that's where her crease is. Everybody's got that bone right there that will show you where your crease is. I'm kind of making like a little circle triangle.
And this has been all the same color?
All the same color. Toffee.
Toffee.
Now I'm just going to blend that, and I like to call this the windshield wiper move. It's the wrist thing I'm telling you about.
Same brush still.
Same brush. And I'm just spreading on that product. I didn't put anything else on my brush. I'm using what's already there and on Jen's eye.
Yuri, lay down, buddy.
And I'm just following the shape of her bow. Now I'm going to do little circles
Seats.
so I can blend it
Dots.
softly up.
Good boy.
So as you can see, little circles, little circles. And then look straight for me. You see I'm doing the same thing, staying on that track.
I'll get in closer. You guys can see.
Now I'm gonna go in with a pinky shade, soft and sweet, and I'm just gonna continue to blend that darker shade. Nothing fancy. I'm just moving that into the middle of her eyelid to blend everything out nice and soft. Still using the same brush.
And just a tip from me as a non-professional, less is more. So try not to go in too heavy because then it's harder to fix it. So start with less and then build upon that.
It's very good advice.
I try, Jamie.
Look right here. So I'm just using the soft pinky brown shade to blend everything out, get rid of all the hard lines. And come here. just like so. So I'm going to go back in with my darker shade Toffee, and I'm gonna work underneath her eye.
Toffee was the first one that she put up all up in my crease.
Yep. So I'm gonna go with another firm brush. This is a great brush to have in your kit. It's flat, it's square, and it really helps you to make a straight line. So I'm gonna have Jen look up for me. I'm gonna turn. And I'm going to follow her lash line first off. Now Jen's eyes, it swoops up. So I want to try to make it a little bit more round. So I'm going to pull this down at the corner. So her eye is up like this, and then I'm going to turn it like this. It's just giving the illusion of opening the eye a little bit. And look up. So same thing, I'm gonna follow her lash line, and then I'm gonna come out at an angle. Kind of just give the illusion of the eye opening up this way. And then I'm gonna deepen it up a little, and I'm gonna go in with cinnamon. That's got a little bit of a berry in it. I'm sorry, cinnamon, a little bit of a berry in it. And this is really gonna pop underneath the eye now. So I'm just gonna tap it, tap it, tap it, tap it, tap it, and then come out at an angle to open that eye a little bit. And dip in a little bit more color, and go to the lash line, tap, 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 and then come out at an angle. Don't worry if it's not perfect, that's why we blend to the gods. Now I really like this color on her eyes, so I'm gonna actually do it on half of the top lid. So look down for me, and I'm gonna bring you up. This is great, we'll pull up like this, just tap, tap, tap. Not that much work. Let your brush do the work for you. So. Tap, 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 tap. Now I want this to be a little bit softer, so once I do the other eye, then I'm gonna go back in and diffuse it. Really wanna make sure you get all the way into the lash line. If you have issues, you can pull up like that and make sure you get any exposed skin. You're such a good model. Now I'll go in with my other favorite brush. This is the MAC pencil brush. I love this brush. So I'm gonna
really love it.
I do. So I'm gonna diffuse those hard lines by blending it out. So if you'll look up for me, chin down. And I'm just gonna go at that bottom, the edge of the color, and I'm just gonna diffuse just a tad, make it a little soft, nice and natural. And then I'm gonna do the same on top. Close for me. And I'm just going right on that track of the color. Remember, where you put your pencil or your brush, that's where the color is gonna go. So you always wanna stay on track. So everything is nice and soft and diffused. Well, since this is a very soft glam, I'm gonna do some pigment. It's a MAC pigment, I have no idea, but that's what it looks like. Ooh. It's kind of, it's a natural color, but it's very sparkly, and we need a little bit of sparkle in our lives.
Always.
So I want to show you exactly what I do. When you work with pigment, less is more. So all I'm going to do is tap the tip of my brush just that much, okay? If you're not sure about working with it dry, you can always wet your brush and work with it damp. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this pigment and I'm going to tap it. I'm gonna pick up more because I know what I'm doing, but I gotta teach you guys right. So less is more. And I'm just gonna tap that into her skin and buff it out. And I'm going all the way up to the brow bone, just like so. I will tap any excess off, and then I'm just gonna tap that right onto the lid. MAC has the best pigments around, just my opinion.
You want to tell them the difference between a pigment and a shadow?
A pigment and a shadow. Shadows are pressed. Pigments are going to be in the powdered form. And it's just a matter of preference. Because I came from MAC, I had the opportunity to learn on pigments as well too. I would suggest the more you get going in makeup to open yourself up to pigments. The loose shadows. They're so much fun to work with and they're amazing. So now I'm just going to continue these underneath the eye. I'm going to have her look up. I'm going to tap in the tear duct and then just right under here. I don't want a lot. I don't need a lot. I just need a little pop of color for her eyes. Just like so.
Just like so.
So now I think I'm going to try to deepen up her crease a little bit. And this is where it's tough for me because I have so many freaking options.
I'll show you where we're at right now. So you can see the difference between the pigment and the shadow. The pigment is definitely more vibrant, and the pigment is on the inside, and then her pressed, regular shadows on the edges.
Yep.
You ready to go lay down? Hey. Hey.
Oh, sorry, bud.
Hang on 1 second. Let's get situated. Over there, go to place.
I'm going to give her a little bit of try,
boy.
a little bit of berry.
Seats.
Bless his heart.
I know, he's trying to get comfortable.
Did
He's
you?
wearing a cone. Okay, we're good.
So now I've gone with a berry tone. And I just want to deepen in her crease a little bit. Jen has beautiful eyes, and whatever I can do to pop out that color is my mission.
She's so kind.
And as you can see, just that little pop really amplified the look. Nice and slow is the way to go. And you can definitely see this has got a little more berry in it, and this is more browns. A little more chai. I'm doing the triangle. I'm not going any higher than the brow bone. And I will continue it. Look up for me. Underneath the eye, because I really like this berry color on her. Would you like your waterline lined
Oh, I don't care. Yeah,
for your pictures?
sure.
It's gonna make it pop.
Okay.
Good time. Okay. I'm gonna add some black liner. I always like to ask about liner in the waterline, or if I'm gonna use any type of dark pencil, dark brown or black, because it's gonna take this look and it's gonna elevate it a whole lot. And I will show you, I'll do one eye and you can see the difference.
Guys have any questions so far?
Questions would be good while I look for my liner.
She's trying to hunt down her liner. Poor boy.
Okay, I'm gonna go in now with my MAC kohl liner. This is the jam, okay? This is in shade Feline, but you can also use Carbon. They're both amazing black liners. They're very creamy, it's a kohl, so they do have a tendency to travel. So if your eyes have an issue with the kohl liners traveling, you can pat with a dark, like a black shadow to set it in. So I'm gonna do the top liner first, okay? So I'm gonna have her look down and I'm going to pull up like this. See that line? I know it's an MFer, but it really, I know. It really makes the look pop. Look up. And then I'm gonna do the top.
The bottom.
Now I'm doing the bottom, like so. Now that's just the waterline.
So I'll show you the difference.
Your eyes are already stunning. I can see the little brown dot in it, but the black really makes it pop. So let's do that again. I'm gonna tilt you up, look down, pull up. Did a lot better on that one.
I did.
Let me do this one again, look down.
Okay.
And I'm barely applying pressure. Chin down, look up. Forgive me guys, I'm a shorty. Just like so. Now I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna work on this outer corner right here because I wanna open up her eye. So I'm just going to bring this down just a tad. Not all the way because I've gotta buff it out. But as you can see, it really is gonna bring her eye from this to a little bit more open. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back on this palette and I'm gonna use the shade Smoky. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tap that on that color and buff it down just a tad. Just like so.
And she's using that flat square.
My flat brush.
Yeah, flat square right now. Oh, I'm missing an earring.
Oh no,
Oops.
you have a gaping hole.
I do. Gaping.
Turn this way and then look right here. Hello. And then I'm gonna do the exact same thing. I'm just gonna bring it down just like that. I'm gonna tap into Smoky, tap the excess off, and I'm just going to pat on there and kind of buff it out a little. Turn it a little bit more for me. And look straight. Hold it. And then look up. Look up for me. And then I'm gonna pull down like this. See, if you can see, there's like pockets of skin that I missed. That's when I wanna go back. Tighten everything up. And then I'll pull it down again, look up. Just like so. Lashes? Okay.
Amanda, where are you going on date night, girl? Give us all some ideas.
Okay.
So, lashes are a little bit daunting for people. I will tell you, me personally, and people laugh at me when I tell them this, it's easier for me to do it in the car because you lower the visor and then the way that you can look at it at that angle. So when I was just starting out trying to learn how to glue on my own lash strips, that's what I did. And then it got easier and easier and I was able to do it in my bathroom. So kind of a trick I had.
So I'm gonna throw on some lashes. I'm gonna be using the Foamy Gardels. And these are wispies. So
Yes, she is amazing.
I'm all right. So the trick to the lashes is you have to let the glue tack up. If you put it on too soon, then you're going like this, and then the glue starts moving, and you hate your life. If you have trouble with the strips, try cutting it into sections. 4 is good, 2 is fine. And then you can just place it on and pinch as you go. I shall be using Duo Dark. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna measure to make sure she has a custom fit. So I have my client look down, and then I just make sure that it's not hanging off or any way. If they're sensitive to lashes, then maybe I'll cut it a little bit shorter so it doesn't go all the way into the corner of the eye. Are you sensitive to lashes?
No.
Okay. So this is how I do it, y'all. Can you see?
Yes.
So I'm gonna squeeze a little bit out, bloop. And then I just run it right on there. Excuse me, I need to adjust because I'm so blind. So as you can see, hardly anything is on there, right? And I'm gonna let this set, or I'm gonna fan it like crazy. Whichever way you wanna do.
Mexican sounds fun. We just got back from Mexico, and I'm a little biased now on authentic Mexican tacos. Oh my gosh, they were so good there. So I don't know if we'll be getting Mexican for a while, but it was very good.
While those are drying, I'm gonna take a wipey and I'm gonna clean up any fallen product that I might have. And I'll clean it all the way up and move off any product. If you sometimes do your liner a little bit too heavy, then this is how you clean it up, or you tighten it up, or however you wanna do. So not that much, not too bad. And then I just take my little finger and I'll just draw right across. And if you go too far, don't worry about it. Don't try to fix it until after you do your foundation. And then eyeshadow. I'm gonna give her a nice smooth one over. It's like a spa day. Gonna give her some lotion, Cetaphil, the best. And I'm just gonna spread it out, give her a little bit of moisture. It's important to prep the skin so you can even the palette. If you're oily or you have acne-prone skin, a primer for the skin would be great too. I'm going to be using Icy Sheet Primer. This has a little bit of coolness to it. And I'm hardly using any. I'm going to use this for her whole face. Up here, pop, pop. And then right here, and then right here. And I'm just going to buff it around.
It smells good.
It's nice, cool too. This is also good for minimizing pores, fighting oil, evening the palette, preparing the skin for flawless complexion. If you need to use any extra in any spots that need a little bit more love, feel free to do so, but just remember, less is more. You don't want to put too much on the skin. I'm going to give her a Beyonce moment. Beyonce.
Kim, she does house calls.
I do.
And she does private lessons too.
I do.
We've done a couple parties together where they've hired her to come and give lessons in person.
Okay, so it looks pretty good. It looks like it's ready. It's starting to turn colors. If it ever dries too much, just add a little bit more to the top. So my application is simple. I'll have her tilt her head back and look down so I can see into her lash. I pull it tight. Oh gosh, you're so tall. And I'm gonna drop it on like this. Bring your head down for me.
Let me make myself shorter.
So I have her look down over here, head straight, so I can see into her eye. And I have maybe kind of put it up like that, and I just back it up into the crease. If you get a little bit of glue, don't worry, just wipe it off very quickly. Boom.
Boom.
Look up. Voila.
Lashes and brows make a world of difference, just saying.
And the number one key is you got to let the glue tack. So I set it down in the middle, right? Let it sit. It's still workable at this point, so look down over here. Give him a little flip up. I'm going to give it a tap for reinforcement. Don't tap too hard. Take an eyeball out. Don't want to do that. So now I'm going to tighten up that line now. We're not going to do liquid liner this time again. I'm going to keep it easy for you guys so I can just teach you proper technique. I'm going to go back with my little flat brush. I'm going to dip into that smoky really good, tap off. Look down for me. And as you can see, I'm just stamping. I'm just connecting the lash to the corner of her eye, but I want to also tighten that line too. And instead of using a liquid liner or a cream liner or a pencil, I just use a black shadow, and this helps me to make it straight. I'm going to add a little highlight to her brow bone. And then we will continue with the skin. That's pretty much it for the eyes. I'm going to take a clean little fluffy brush, small. This is just a MAC blending brush. You can find the same equivalent at 3 times the cost, cheaper at Morphe. Morphe is great. So I just want to throw some light to her brow bone. And I am using Soft and Gentle by MAC, the best dang highlighter ever. And then a little light to the brow bone. And I'm going to add a little bit to the corner of her eyes, just to bring in some sunshine. And now that I'm done with her eyes, I'm going to move on to the skin, but that little brow, this little lash right here doesn't want to stay in its hole. So you see, here's a good example. As you can see, the glue dried up. So this is how I fix this. We don't have to pull it off.
Rogue lash.
Just I would suggest like taking a Q-tip to do this. Like take the Q-tip and break off the tip. So you have the stick, and then just put glue on the tip. And all I'm gonna do is put that glue right there. And I'm gonna let it hang out. I know it's weird. Just a couple of seconds, it's gonna hang out.
So let me see the duo. I want to show them something. So what I do if I'm wearing strips and I'm out and I get a rogue lash like this, I put a little bit of the glue on my hand like this, and then I take the edge here.
Oh.
Yeah, I do a little scoop, give it a couple of blows, make it tacky, and then just like Jamie just did on that corner. So it works well for me.
Yes, that's a great tip. I'll take it. And now I'm just going to tap that bad boy back on.
We're getting there, guys.
I know.
No, you guys have been great. I just wish that y'all had some questions we could answer for you, but I guess she's just so good at teaching.
Oh, gosh.
You got no questions.
All right, so I'm gonna shear out my foundation a little bit. 3 drops. And you can order this at the site. And I just mix it a little bit in there. I'll do a little bit right here, a little bit right here, and here right now. So first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna carve the brow on the top.
They're asking 3 drops of what?
I used this, it's more in a powder form. It's kind of like a cream. This makes it more of a liquid form. So if I don't need full coverage, I use this. This is also good for mature skin too, because it's gonna give you like a dewy effect. And then I can shear it out, use it lightly all over the face, and then go back with this to build up the coverage. So right now I'm just cutting the brows. I'm using a firm paintbrush. This is a Morphe brush. Look up for me for a second.
They're asking what's in the bottle.
Um,
We'll post a link to it.
Yeah.
The bottle doesn't have a name on it
no,
right now.
cannot.
She knows what it is, but there's no name. So we'll post a link on where you guys can buy it from.
Yeah. It's an RCMA product. It basically shears it out and makes it more dewy. It makes this like a liquid, if that makes sense. So I have a lot of product on her face right now, and I'm just going to buff it out and spread it around. Because I like her skin, we don't need a bunch. So as you can see, guys, I only did a couple of swipes with this. And I'm just buffing it out on her skin now. It's a great match. You know, this is supposed to be a day look, so, you know, I want to keep it natural and show skin. That's important.
Skin should always have texture. It's one of my biggest pet peeves as a photographer is when I see people edit skin beyond to where there's no texture.
I get a little bit of glue right there, I'm sorry. Okay, so now that I've spread it around her entire face, I'm gonna shear this out a little bit more for underneath her eyes. And I'm changing brushes. I'm using a very fluffy, loose brush. I'm going to mix it. And then look up for me. So when you do this, you don't want to go all the way up to where your color is. You want to start down low, because as you buff out, you'll move up. So I'll just go down here, hit the nose again. I'm going to start low. And another good tip that I can give you, when you're doing your skin, when I do this, see the lines? Everything under is traveling with you. So if you want to remove or set in, you want to press. And while I'm blending, I'm also removing product. This would be very difficult for me if I just went into this as its natural form. But because I've sheared it out, it's dewy, And as you can see, this is a foundation. This is not a concealer. That's how great this stuff is. And then I'm just gonna repeat the process, start low and move high. I'm gonna kick it right here because I wanna tighten that line up right there. And use a brush that's appropriate to the area that you need to get into. Do you like that coverage?
Yes.
Yeah, there's not hardly anything here because I don't think you need it. So I just blend it out.
And this light the ring light we're using is giving me some weird tones. So, hold on. Let me try to refocus it. That's a little better.
If you still feel like it's too heavy or you need to remove some, you can use a beauty blender, or you can go with a more firm brush and you just take it and tap it. And what this does is this is going to pull things off. So I want to pull a little bit off because I was a little heavy-handed.
And a beauty blender is a little sponge. My husband refers to it as a clown nose because it looks like one.
Honk, honk.
You get it wet, you dry it off, and you use it, and it helps to remove some of the product and to spread it as well. It's what I use at home.
I use them too. I'm just on a brush kick right now. Okay, I like this. So now I'm going to do a tad bit of contour. It's very
Contour.
pretty.
We're not doing a Kardashian contour, y'all, so don't get too excited.
No.
We don't believe in those in these parts.
It might look offensive, but I'm going to pull it back. That makes any sense.
So typically, correct me if I'm wrong, the contour should be just a few shades darker than your foundation that you're using. And that's what I've done at home to prevent me from going over the top with it, but it is a totally different tone. It's not just the same shade darker, it's a different tone as well.
I'm going to go a few shades darker. I'm going to be more in this area. This has a little bit of red to it, which is what I want to complement her undertones. So I'm going
Sorry,
to go in.
I don't know if you can hear that train. It may get real loud for a second.
Gonna go in with this. Okay.
Sorry.
So what contour is supposed to do is it's supposed to mimic natural sun. So the sun is going to hit you on the high planes. So this is where I want to be, in the hairline. Contour the nose just a tad. She don't need it. I'm gonna give it to her just a little. If you want to contour your nose but you're just nervous about doing it, you can take your finger like this and go like that, and that'll give you a straight line.
This is when my husband tells me I start looking like a tribal person because I draw it all over my face.
So a good way to figure out where this is supposed to lie. Some people have high cheekbones and they end up here, but I use the guide of the little thingy in the ear to the corner of the mouth, or you can smile, and this is going to show you where that cheek is supposed to be. That's it. Don't go too high.
Longest I've held a smile.
Smile. Just like that. Nothing too harsh. Now it's only supposed to be a soft shadow. So get any blending brush you want. I'm using this blending brush. It's very loose and fluffy. And I just soften it. That's all I'm doing is soften it. Turn for me. So when you do this, wherever you place this brush, that's where the product is going to go. So don't be doing this. You first stay on the track. You're just blending the hard lines. If you want to do anything, you want to push up a little because we're shaping. I'm just softening it, and I'm gonna make it disappear. But when I put the blush on top of it and contour, it's really gonna pop it out. So as you can see, she has a very natural contour. The light is hitting it just perfectly. Turn this way. And then I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm working with the tip of the brush, and I'm staying on that track, and I'm just gonna move up a little bit. And go back and do her nose. I'm using a smaller blending brush for the appropriate space, and I'm staying on the track. When I say on the track, I am going only on top of where I lay the product. Okay. Now I'm gonna set this all with powder. This has been my jam for a while now. I love this. NYX, nice price point. Close for me, and we're gonna have a powder party. That's what I like to call it. We're setting everything in, but it's HD, so it's lightweight. Can you look up for me? And I'm just buffing it on. I love this palette. I'm back at it again. So I'm gonna go with Toffee, which is what I used on her eyes. And give me a little fluffy brush. Toffee, toffee, toffee. Turn for me. See that? Just one stroke. 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 You don't want to do this because it's gonna like leave streaks, if that makes any sense. So I stay on it and try to keep it just like that. And then I will do the other side. It's soft, looks straight. And then I'm gonna go up here as well too, like so, and she just looks softly sun-kissed. Going back with my Soft and Gentle for her highlight. Using the same brush. I don't knock this off because I love the highlight. So I'm going on the high cheekbone, and I'm going to the apple of her cheek as well too. The idea is to pull things up. So as you can see, everything is going up. Turn just a little for me. So up here by the temple, all the way to the apple. I'm gonna hit the bridge of her nose, a little honker on the end, the Cupid's bow, right here, and if you feel froggy, you can do here too. We just want to bring light to the center of her face.
The T-zone.
Yep. I'm also going to go back, same brush. I'm going to use the other color I used on her eye too, the Soft and Sweet that I used to blend. Smile. I just want to add a little rosiness to the balls of her cheek. Just
the balls need rosy.
My balls need rosing too, girl. Okay. So now we should give her a soft lip liner.
Soft lips.
She's got beautiful lips, so you know, I just want to accentuate.
Beautiful lips, courtesy of my girl Brooke.
I'm going to be using the lip pencil from MAC in the shade Whirl. It's a beautiful mauve tone. So what I usually do is I have them put the lips together. I'm going to turn you right here. Bring your chin down just a tad. And I'm going to do the Cupid's bow. And we're back to the drawing, the wrist only. I'm going to ground myself on her chin. Whoa. Well, I gave her a chin. I gave her a black chin. I'm only human. Let's see. This is good. This is good practice for my professionalism. Okay, I just fix it. It's done.
Done.
Make sure my hands are clean. Make sure your hands are clean when you do this. So I'm going to ground myself on her chin with my pinky. I'm going to turn a little bit for me. And I am just tracing that line. Now, if you want to make your lips a little fuller, you want to go on top of the lip line, just like so. Now, I asked my client to part their lips because it's going to naturally drop your lips, and it's going to show me how your lips lay naturally. So if you're a little bit uneven, this is how I straighten it out. So I like to also use my finger as a guide because it just helps me move so fast. And I'm hardly using any pressure. And I'm just tracing her natural line. I could go a little bit under. And then again, I don't worry about messing up because I do the same cleanup as I do on the brows. Open up just a little ah. You always want to connect. And I'm just going to use a little bit of this on her entire lip. I would also recommend doing that with your lip liner, just lining the whole lip. It's going to give whatever you have on top of it longevity.
And yes, Kim, she does recommend doing the foundation after you do your eyes because of the fallout, so you don't have to repeat any of the application for your foundation. You're not wasting product. But I think you may have missed that part. She did put a primer on my eyelids first before she applied. Something I do at home, because I don't have this at home, I just put the foundation on my eyelids.
You can do that too.
Not everybody's got fancy shit like you, girl.
Okay. Okay, so I'm going to clean up her lip line the exact same way I cleaned up her brows. I just got some foundation on a firm brush, and I'm just basically tracing. I made a little boo-boo right here, so I just want to fix that. And you know, if you go too far, don't worry about it. This is a cleanup, so you continue until you get it right. This is the same shade as her foundation. I need to go in with a small brush to kind of buff everything out. This is the MAC pencil brush, and I'm just going to buff it around until it blends out. But it makes it nice and sharp. Something's wrong. And FYI, this is only the second time I've done my boss's makeup, so I'm a little nervous.
I'm not her boss.
She's my boss.
No, I'm not.
I want you to be my boss. So this is exactly how you get the perfect red lip. So I'm not going to put any lipstick on her. I'm going to use a very sheer, very light pink gloss. I basically need something sheer to blend the hard lines in. So I'm just going to use a little bit like that and put it on my hand. I'm going to take a lip pencil brush. I'm going to build it up, and then this is going to help me make everything perfect now. Sorry about that. You're good. I gotta get used to these new lips, Jen.
I know. They're fabulous now. Amber, I will post it after this. She's asking to get info on lessons, so we'll post that for you.
Well, also, if you have any questions, you can go back on and answer. I can help Jen answer them. this one. Don't look yet.
Okay.
I just gotta give you some mascara. So I have a great trick to make lashes comfortable. When I'm doing my mascara, I have a new spoolie. Tilt your head down. I'm gonna take my finger right here and brush against my finger. And that will seal your natural lashes with the falsies and makes them look real, which I love. Okay, look, tell me if I need to fix anything.
No, it looks fabulous.
You okay with your lips?
Yeah. I'm not used to myself with these lips either. So just to show you guys, ooh, I'm gonna fall, bust my ass. Ah! Okay. And we're gonna post some regular pictures of this after too. She's gonna take a couple headshots for me because I don't have any recent ones. And then I'm gonna take a couple of her. So we will, are we done?
Yeah.
Okay, so we will be back on. Probably have some pictures or whatever in a couple hours for you guys. So thanks for tuning in. If you guys have any, thanks Kim. If you guys have any questions, feel free to either comment here or just comment in the group and Jamie or I will give you an answer, and we will be posting that information on some of the products that she used as well so that you guys can check those out. There are multiple like drugstore quality items that are just as good, so don't feel like you have to go out and get a kit like Miss Jams has. She does it professionally, so you definitely don't have to have all of what she had as far as the product level or quality level. So we will give you some info on just drugstore brand stuff too as well. So hope you guys enjoyed it, and we'll talk to you soon.
Good.
Say bye.
Thanks. Bye.